welcome to the January release. So there's a couple of things we've changed. So this version is 2.1.0, and I'm just gonna take you through what has changed. It's not much, but the way you add items to the order is going to change a little bit. So you might probably need to do an upgrade or not, because it doesn't really have any effect on the previous way of doing things. It's just a little enhancement of a couple of things. So why we decided to do this release was because most of the times when you add an item, you find that you're gonna need to add notes to explain exactly what you want. For example, if this is fish fingers, I know it's pretty straightforward, but take an example of an item where you need to actually be specific on maybe what kind of fish someone wants. So instead of putting all that in notes, we've added what we've called modifiers. So every item can have a couple of things that is this served with. So I'm using fish finger because for a specific reason. I'll just get into that later. But this is the new layout. So at the top you'll see the unit price of the item. This is 6,000. So when you add, clicking plus of course adds one to the quantity or deducts one, but you can also just enter 6, and that should be just fine. So sides is just a rename for add-ons. So I could probably just put a side there for chips or maybe anything else, depending on how you set it up. So when you come to the modifiers part, this item has two things, and you notice that I can't add this item to the order yet, because for each of these items I'm gonna have to pick a choice. So since this fish fingers is served with a soup and probably a fish, I know this is not ideal for fish fingers because this is a dry item. It would be you wouldn't want to serve it with soup, but just bear with me. So for the choice of soup, I'm gonna go with the mushroom soup and fish fillet maybe, or fingers, or whatever. It could be anything else. So selecting an option for each one of these actually now lets you add the item. So this reduces the need for extra notes and stuff like that. So if there is anything outside everything here that you've selected, you can add a simple note or whatever, anything that you might want to send to the guys in the kitchen. So when I add that, you'll notice that these are the 6 fish fingers that I've just added, and this is how the new layout actually brings things up to you. So you have your modifiers, the ones that you've selected. So every modifier, when you attach it to an item, of course there might be an extra charge or not. So when you look at the price of fish fingers is 6,000, so 6 items would have been 36,000, but there's an extra 3,000 added here because of these 3 items that we've added. So so that's what's changing. Of course, you still have your notes here, and who added the item and when. You could decide to add just the add-ons because we originally added chips, but you can add more if you want, or probably just remove if that's what you want to do. And of course you can decide to, let me just remove that, and if everything is okay, you say yeah. So that goes out to the kitchen. So in the next video I'm going to explain to you where do you actually set these things up.